Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to talk about bravery and how it can propel you forward on your fluency journey. If we haven't met before, my name is Sarah. I'm the founder of Free Your English. I've been a coach, educator, facilitator for over 25 years, and my passion is really helping people know themselves so that they can access their personal power and reach greater levels of expression. Greater levels of expression often come after moments of bravery, and particularly the kind of moments of bravery that are what you might call spotlight moments. It takes a lot of courage and bravery to step onto a stage and speak in English, or give a presentation in English, or raise a question in a meeting for the first time in English. When you do something like that, that requires you to be brave and courageous, and do something you've not done before, then it's challenging in the moment. It requires a great deal of bravery to step into the spotlight and do it. But it's worth it, because you know within yourself immediately, you know that you've reached a new level of expression. You have expanded into new possibilities. Now you can pretend that you can shrink back by refusing to do that again, or avoiding possibilities that where you might be asked to repeat it or whatever. Excuse me. You can pretend that you can shrink, but you know the reality that you actually can't shrink back. You've expanded. You know that you've reached a new level of capability. So those moments where you have to be in the spotlight are hugely important because they propel you forward. You have an inner instant recognition that you have reached a new level, and there's often some sort of immediate payoff for it. So keep reaching for those. Keep pushing yourself forward. Keep doing what you need to do to step into the spotlight in small and big ways. But it's often said that we are praised in public for what we practice in private. And today I would like to call your attention to the fact that there is an element of bravery needed for what you practice in private as well. It might not be so dramatic. You might not be stepping into a spotlight. There might not be an instant payoff, but it is still really critical that you are brave in the small actions that you need to take that will move you forward. Because you've got something big that you want to do with your English. You have a sense that you want to be able to express yourself fully. And yes, those big spotlight moments are important, but the small moments, the at-home, daily, private moments are also important. And the bravery piece for those is not being visible like it is when you stand on a stage or put your hand up to ask a question or decide to lead a team or whatever. The bravery is not about being visible. It's about being honest. Honest with yourself. Because you know within yourself what you really need to help yourself move forward. I'll give you an example that came up for me this week. I have a morning practice of moving through a few different things, meditation, reading, but also journaling. And as I was journaling, I received, an intuitive nudge, something that said to me, do you remember a few days ago you had this flash of inspiration that you really needed to shift your thinking about a problem that's been plaguing you for years? Do you remember? And I had the sense of I do remember that. I was going to write down a list of things I'm grateful for about that problem. And I promised myself I was going to shift how I perceived that problem. And yeah, a few days ago, that seemed like a great idea. I just haven't got around to it. I mean, who has time to sit down journaling about things that they're grateful for about their problems? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks that at this moment, while I was thinking these thoughts, I actually had been journaling. And yet, I still didn't want to do it. I still was resistant to actually doing the task of writing down the things that I'm grateful for this issue. So it's a high level of resistance, but that's okay because I at least was being honest about it. I was recognizing that I'd had this thought quite often that I need to shift my perspective. I'd received the guidance that I should write a list. I'd received the guidance that it should be focused on the things I'm grateful for about this problem and what it's taught me and what I've moved through. And I just knew that that was something that would shift things for me. I even was doing the task of journaling and I still was resistant. So I went ahead and I wrote down the list, and it was interesting to see that as I was writing, I could indeed feel myself bringing a higher level of awareness to how I've been speaking about this problem, because I've been speaking about it in this way. Oh, I've had this for 8 years and I feel stuck with it and it's never going to change. And here's the things that are awful about it. And if I described the story of this to you, you most likely would agree with me. That is awful. That is terrible. That is a long time. And yet that doesn't serve me. It doesn't help me. And a new perspective shift was needed. So just the distance to be able to see that there are a few things I've learned because of this issue. I have grown as a person because of this issue. I can see how it's got better in some places. Just that shift to allow a little bit of space and a new way of seeing it in terms of, I'm not going to change the problem overnight, but I'm going to change my perspective in terms of how I speak about it. I'm going to focus on the fact that this problem is leaving my life, and before it does, I want to show it gratitude for the things that I have mastered because of it. So it's a huge shift. So for me, that was a moment of bravery because I really had to be honest about, I was quite, not enjoying, but I was very comfortable with complaining about this and being grateful. That was a challenge. So I would invite you to really take a moment and think, what's the first, rather than taking a moment, how about the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about what would make a difference for you in terms of your English if you actually did it? Write it down, have a think about it. Can you start right away? How could you start? What would be one small step? And then take action on it. And I would love if you could come back to the comments and share what you took action on, if you're comfortable doing that, or just let us celebrate with you. Tell us, I did it, in the comments. And yeah, we would love to share with you in the celebration of the small, really seemingly insignificant things, but not really. The small shifts that don't always get the big applause. We would love to share in those with you because a series of those small shifts adds up to huge change. Okay, so that was my thoughts. Those were my thoughts that I wanted to share with you. This idea that you need to be brave to move forward. You need to be brave with your visibility for the spotlight moments, and you need to be brave with your honesty for the practicing at home moments. I hope this was of use to you. Thank you for being with me for this video. I hope to see you in the next one.